Hi and welcome back. This is the Skin Clinic by the PRIISEK channel. Today it's all about tactics. Do you know what tactics are all about? How to get them to work? Where they are? This is what we're here for. Deep dive into tactics today. Let's get on with it. So today, down the left hand side, you'll see tactics. Let's click on that one. So each game, depending on how many games you have in this season and all that sort of business, you will spend a lot of time in here with your tactics, especially at the start of a save. If you've never set up a tactic and you want to sort of come in and have a look and get familiar with it, you can have 3 tactics that you can train at any one time. So again, we're now familiar with the fact that the top of this screen is exactly the same, and also down on your menu bar, sidebar on the side. So everything is the same, other than again in this little area in here. And you can train 3 tactics at any one time. So your team can get used to maybe a 4-2-4 like we've got here, or number 2 is a 4-2-3-1, and the third tactic we're doing is a 4-1-2-2-1 formation. So at any one stage you can be training multiple different tactics, so your team are getting used to what you can do. Now when you first start off the game, it'll come up here with an empty screen and it'll say create your own tactic, and normally your assistant will give you a bit of advice to say, with the players we've got, this is what you need to do, this is the formation you need, and you go from there. We obviously are at a stage here where we've already got our tactics built, so once you add a generic tactic you can then tweak it to however you want to do. Obviously we've got Adam Lewis here, who is a very good attacking fullback, so we've got him as a complete fullback, where Garwood on the other side, not as good, but he's just a standard fullback. Central defenders, yeah, it depends on what you want to do with your players. You will see with the players how good they are. You know, you might have someone at the back who's got, let's just have a quick look at Tompkinson. So jumping a 13, heading a 13, not too bad, not too bad. He's 5'11", so he's not the best in the air. Where Lavel, 6'2", 14 and 14, so a little bit better. Nice big strong centre half, 6'2", but you might have a 6'6" who's got jumping reach of 19, heading of 11. So you've got to weigh up what you want to do with them. So across the top here on our menu bar, overview, we then have players. So you can select a player and really get into their role and see what they're doing. Tell them to do more. Yeah, run with the ball. It's just all the different options you got through there. You can really deep dive into it. Can get quite confusing. Sometimes it's better just to leave some of it alone and leave what the standard has said. Set pieces. So the standard set pieces, again, you can, if we just clear these 3 out, you can have a quick pick. Your assistant will pick them for you, and rated on the ability of the players, he will pick them in an order of 1, 2, 3. And you can do that with corners, do your corner routine where you want your players, fullbacks on the posts, centre backs marking, midfielders, strikers up out the way. You can also do your attacking corners. So you want to say this is your taker. He's been currently selected to take the corner, so he is back there as standard. These two SB, so they're going to stay back at all times. This one, he's going to lurk outside the area, edge of the area. You've also got near post, far post, mark the keeper, and lurk around the far post, lurk around the near post. So you can move them around, you can move him, stay back if needed, maybe go forward, but we do like to set it up like this. You know, it's, again, personal preference on how you want to go with it. Free kick takers. So again, with the free kicks, when it's a defending, tell them where you want them, who's in the wall, who's man marking, stay forward, attacking. So these are going to go forward, edge, lurking, stay back. So just depending on how you want to do it. And obviously you can choose one who's going to take. He's the taker, so that's that lad there. Throw-ins, similar situation. Set up how you want it. Attacking, defending. Obviously it is left and right as well, which I should say. Penalties, same scenario. You can find out who's your best penalty taker. I think the dog next door has decided to have a party. It's in there, bark, bark, bark. I'm sure you're picking that up because I can definitely hear it. Penalty takers. So we've got 3 of them there on 14s, and they've all been chosen. Oh, actually, no, we've got Josh Thomas in because he's a striker. We did move him in place of one of the other lads. I think Aaron Williams doesn't really play a lot, so we've moved him in. So again, you could clear them out, get the assistant manager to pick them for you if you wish to. Captains. This is where it'll influence a lot on your dynamics. If you come in here and just rip someone away from the captaincy, it's not a good idea. But this is where you change it during the season if you wished. So you click down, choose your option from obviously over here. So if I clicked on leadership, I think it's already on leadership, it's saying that Laval and Tordini are the best 2. They've only just signed for the club. I'm not having those as our captain. Our captain is actually, where is he to? Quite a way down the list, but he's been here a long time. Will Russ as well down the list, but he's a very influential player. He's, from our dynamics, should we go back to one of our screens we've done before? They're top influence, both of them, look, both team leaders. So that's why they're in as captains and vice captain. Match plans, again, you can say use last match's plan or default, create a new one, have scenarios, add a scenario. I don't touch this. I leave all this stuff go. It just gets very confusing if you start going in here. But the world's your oyster. If you want to have a go at it and have a fiddle, by all means do it. Opposition instructions. This is something which is normally done before the kickoff. You can actually ask your assistant to set up some information. I normally do this just before kickoff when we're in the tactics of the pre-match. So the assistant, I ask him to do it and he will go through and give you the information. So it can show you players, positions, so just saying what they're going to be doing, where they are, and it's just, there's so much detail in the skins these days, and this is just again another thing which can be very, very daunting for people, but there's lots of information here. We go back to the overview. What you'll see, if you click on these arrows here, this will bring up the tactics of the squad with all the players there without the formation map on there. But obviously we want to see the formation map as it stands. Just expands it over to the right there. Now, mentality. You will see lots of different mentalities. Very defensive, cautious, balanced, positive, attacking, and very attacking. I normally, personally, it's entirely your call. Lots of people start off with balanced or cautious. I'm always a positive mentality myself, especially on my YouTube channel. We are always on a positive mentality over here. So that's where we normally go. You can then, in possession, in transition, out of possession. So again, it says what it says on the tin. When you've got possession, we're passing more direct, we're passing into space, we're hitting early crosses, we're playing for set pieces, we're being more disciplined. As you can see, it's all down there. In transition, distribute to the flanks and counter. Out of possession, force the opposition outside, higher line of defence, lower line of engagement, more urgency. So what you can do if you wished, you go to change. So if you wanted to have a higher tempo, you can change your tempo or lower your tempo down. Time waste. So if you're in a big game and you're a couple of goals up and you think, right, less time waste. We see it quite often in the Premier League. It's a very big tactic that's used. You can also attack with width. Very narrow. You can see your team, look, as it goes up, the team get wider. Obviously the wider you are, more gaps through the middle. Big chance of teams countering and exploiting through your centre. But again, it's your call on where you want to go with that. Approach play, pass into space. I do like a pass into space. Gives my quick players something to run onto. Underlap, overlap, focus play down the right, focus play down the left, focus through the middle, passing directness. So shorter passing, much shorter, standard, more direct, or extremely direct. Obviously if you've got a big target man, you want to get the ball up to him quickly. If you've got an Andy Carroll in your team, get the ball up there. Tempo, obviously approach play, extremely high tempo. So again, it's just how you want to set your team up. If you go for a really high tempo and you've got a load of players who've got, say, 7 to 12 for their stamina, you're gonna kill them. So you gotta think about it. Final third, mixed crosses. So again, you can change this: floated, whipped, low crosses. I just set it to mixed. It's a nice varied balance. So you can shoot on sight, hit early crosses, work the ball into the box, play for set pieces, dribble less, run at defence, be more expressive, be more disciplined. So it's setting your team up to how you want it exactly. In transition now. So this time, what do you want to do? Do you want to regroup? Do you want to counter press? Do you want to hold your shape? Do you want to counter? What do you want to do with the ball? Goalkeepers, roll it out, distribute to the flanks. You can. It's like I said a minute ago, it is so in depth. You can set it up to however you want it. Out of possession. So when you're out of possession, what are you going to do? Are you going to drop your players back, regroup, sit in, defend for your lives? Maybe you're playing Man City or Liverpool and you're just going to bring everyone back as far as you can, 10 men behind the ball, just leave one up top and hope for the best? Or are you a team like a Man City? Get your defensive line right up, engage their defenders right on the goal line. So if they've got someone who's passing the ball short from the goalkeeper, pressure, pressure, pressure. That's what this is. You can also use the offside trap. We just normally go for a higher line of defence and standard line of engagement, sort of around that area. And again, if you're a Liverpool, for sake's sake, pressing intensity. Get it right up there. Liverpool, press, press, press. Get stuck in, stay on your feet. Prevent the short goalkeeping distribution. So you can click on that one. So if he is giving it short, bang, strikers in on the goalkeeper. And all that sort of jazz. So what you do with your players, what we'll do, we will clear the entire team. So as you see it, if we did quick pick, you just press that button there, selection advice. So selection advice, your assistant manager is going to give you some advice on who he recommends you should be playing at this moment in time in this team. This will all be down to fitness levels, how good they are. Obviously he's not going to pick a load of idiots who aren't good enough for you. How good they are with the tactics. You can see it here, look, it appears to be match fit and ready to go. Ability to command a place in the team, familiar with the tactics, familiar with the position, comfortable. You could then just use selected squad. So we click that and we've then got our squad available to us. And as we can see, a few changes from what I add in, purely because there were some injured players. So what does this all mean? 8 star, 7, 8, you know, you've got different numbers here. What we do, if you click on the actual top lower, top lower, can't be top and lower, that's staying in, I'm not editing that out. On the top light blue box, it'll come up with the positions that this player can play. So as it stands, he is better as a wing back on defend, because as the stars go, you can see that they're all pretty much full up, but this one, he's got a white piece in that wing back role, where he's only got 2.5 stars in the rest. So if we click on the wing back and then come across, you can see defend has actually got 3 stars, where the rest are 2.5. So if we clicked on defend and then just click on a player and come back, we can see now he's got a 9 in that role. So he's more familiar. He's not the best, because he would have a star. If we go to a player who's got a star there, look, you can see 3 stars, where if we went to a ball playing defender for this lad and put him on defend, click on a player, click back, he's now dropped down to an 8, because he's not as comfortable as he was with his central defender defend role, for sake's sake. So click and go back, you can see it changes. Same with all these. If you put someone in, let's say Benson, he can't play centre half. Let's go for a striker actually. He's really mix it up. Striker at the back, it goes in as a 1, because he's totally ineffective. He's useless. You can see a big red blob appeared here now, because he is no good at playing that role at all. You can also click on the little face there in the lower box, and it will bring up a few basic stats about that player. And like I was saying, you can change it up to how you want to suit. So you can see that this lad can be a no-nonsense defender or a defender. He's not as good as a ball-playing defender. Same with midfielders. So go through your midfield. In fact, let's go for Dreyer because he's got some better stats. So we've got him in there as a ball-winning midfielder at the moment. You're not going to play him as a ball-winning midfielder when he's so much better as a box-to-box, or as an advanced playmaker, or a deep-line playmaker. Even a central midfielder he's better at. Mazzala as well, look. Oof. So if we put him as a box-to-box, he's currently 7 at the moment. Click on somebody and come back. You see he's now gone up to a 9. So this is what you do with your players. This is how you work out. On the standard version of Football Manager, these ratings have gone. They don't like it. They don't want that. They don't want that information given to you. I don't know why. Yeah, they saying about not so realistic and sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it's just a nice little guide, I think. I don't go overboard with it. He's got an 8. So, you know, he's really a complete wing-back. But you've got to do it each game. You need to come in here week to week and go, right, who do I need? What do I need? Let's clear the squad again. So, what you would do, a couple of ways of doing it. Get your player, drag him into position. He's now selected. Or, click on pick a player. Now this will give you all the players who can play in that position. So if you've got more players, for sake say central midfield, pick a player, you'll have a whole ream of players that can play there. But for sake say right back, you can then look at this and go, right, condition, yeah, he's fine, and just pick who the fittest player. Or you might have a preference on your player. That's what you then do. Click on him, he's selected. So again, there's multiple ways of doing it. A lot of people will just use quick pick, and again it's all changed around again now. Look, we've got players. Robertson's in there as a 5, so I'm not going to go with that. We'll go with Lovell like that. So he's now an 8. There we go. It just changes things up. Quite often you will, because of how the skin is set up, you will need to go forward, go back to get the full range of what's going on. Now, there's also analysis. You can click it off or click it on. Now what it's saying here, look, we've got a bit of an area here which has got some minor issues. We're happy with this area, look, no issues. Area of strength through the middle there. So again, if we pull up, pick on Will Russ again, we'll now see significant and serious issues. So it's saying that the player who's playing there ain't capable. That's why it's red. But again, you need to click forward, click back, just to check, to make sure things are current. So again, it's quite a good bit of information. A couple of more things. We've also got, you can show extra information. So this is their ratings, and this is the tactical familiarity on the role. So you can see that lots of players are very, very familiar with how they've got to play in this role. But we normally have it on that one there. Now also over this side, we've done selection advice, we've done quick pick. You can see in here as well, you can change your settings, you can ask your assistant to do stuff, you can save your tactics as well, rotate your squad and what sort of information. If you was in here and you thought, oh, I haven't really got enough players, filter, we need some of the under 23s in. Press the under 23s, you've now got a whole extra load of players that are now available to play. So if we did quick pick now, It might put some of the under 23s onto your bench if you had a load of injuries, for sake's sake. Just helps you out. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So I'm hoping that that has been a bit of an enlightenment to tactics. You can change your window in here as well. So currently we've got it set at match tactics there. So you could have selection information, position, reports. But with my one, we have got it pretty much set to everything that you need to know. And I hope that has been an enlightening episode. We will be back next time for Team Report. Yes, Team Report, that will be the next one. I really do hope you've enjoyed that episode. I'm hoping it's helping you with your Football Manager game as well, because some people aren't very familiar with most of this stuff, and there's other people who know exactly what I've just been talking about. But if you're in the first category, please do get some comments in down below if there's anything you don't understand. And if there's anybody who's in the actual people who are familiar with all this and are happy with what I've done, get the comments in down below as well, please. All helps with the channel algorithm. And we'll see you for Team Report next.